Shaeah TV, episode number 86. My name is Matt Carter, and very, very excited to announce, of course, right behind us, playing on the guitar, Mr. David Gogo. Definitely by far one of Nanaimo's most accomplished musicians. Not only is a national award winner, but he loves the hockey team with the best jerseys in all time. We'll talk about that later on as well, more of his music. And when David's playing, it's the only time I should ever be called a go-go dancer, that's for sure. Anyway, so we'll be talking to David later on this hour. Also coming up on the show, well, of course, I love food segments, and Brian, he's the lucky host who gets to put on his chef's hat, and he gets to talk food. In particular, we're going with Chinese cuisine as part of celebrating the Chinese New Year. And it is the year of the lamb, which means you all look as cute as a mutton. Cute as a mutton. Anyways, the chef, Sonny's going to be here firing up some excitable dishes, not to be confused with being down on the boardwalk. Excitable dishes, boardwalk. Okay, anyhow, we're also going to talk about a danger filling the medicine cabinets of houses across the land that's unused and expired medication, which of course is nothing but a hazard than anything else. Thankfully, of course, Pharmacist can help us out. And Brian, he's going to figure out what you can do with your meds. Thankfully to a great return guest, Pharmacist Kevin Cox. Illusionist Michael Berends is back, ready to trick your eyes once again in the Magic Moments with Michael segment. And speaking of magic, volunteers, their magic for all the great work they do. Also, hey, on this show, as well as at organizations all across the country. And one of the most powerful volunteers out there is Mr. Howie, smooth like cognac Hennessy. Howie Hennessy, yes. Look at that. The place erupts in applause. So we have a great new profile to show on him later today. The video will show how he looks good, for sure. All right, we're also introducing you to Nanaimo Lifeline. It's a very important program put on by the Nanaimo and District Hospital Foundation. Program, it's been said, provides services to medically at risk and people with disabilities. Anna's going to find out more about it with Joan Ryan, who's from Nanaimo Lifeline. Anna's also going to talk about matters of the heart, which I suppose kind of makes sense, as this is our closest episode to Valentine's Day. Even though last year Anna did not give me any box of chocolates whatsoever, we've still let her, exactly, boo, exactly. Anyway, she's going to speak with author Shaeah Love about her new book, From My Heart to Yours. The book's been called A Beaming Ray of Light, and it's, again, more about just the heart. It's about personal authenticity and much, much more. Again, we'll find out more about that story later on in the show. But first, Louis Beck, who I thought won a Grammy last night for Album of the Year. Unfortunately, not quite. But he's not going to start off the show by singing songs. Instead, he's going to start off the show by talking a bit about junior achievement. So sit right down. It's time to learn about your town. It's the show right here on Shaeah TV.
Welcome to the show. Very good of you to make time to come and join us. So I understand that you're the General Manager of Junior Achievements. Is that true?
That's right. I'm the Regional Manager here on Vancouver Island.
Regional Manager. Tell me about Junior Achievement. What's it about? What does it stand for? What's its mandate? Tell me.
Absolutely. So Junior Achievement is the world's largest nonprofit organization that is dedicated to teaching youth business, work readiness skills, as well as financial literacy skills. If you can believe it, we've been in British Columbia, established here in our province for the past 60 years. Since 1955, we've been providing our programs in school classrooms all across the province. And we start with students in grade 5, and we work with students all the way up to grade 12. So it's a pretty exciting program.
Do you do some work here in Nanaimo too? You're teaching financial literacy and other things like that?
We do. In fact, we have two programs that are going really strong in Nanaimo school classrooms here. One is called Dollars with Cents, that helps kids learn money management skills. Another is called the Economics for Success program, and it really helps students learn about life after school and about planning post-secondary education and looking at career opportunities. So this year we're involved in about 30 classrooms here in Nanaimo, and we're happy to grow that if there is more interest in the community. That's
fantastic. Now I understand a major junior achievement competition has just concluded, which involved no less than 53 participants across the province. Can you tell me a bit about that competition?
Sure, absolutely. The Junior Achievement of British Columbia recently hosted the Online Business Challenge, and as you mentioned, 53 teams in British Columbia participated. And those were student teams from schools all across the province. And right here here on Vancouver Island, we had a team from Parksville, from past Woodwinds alternate schools. school that joined us and participated. And if I can, I'll tell you what happens in the challenge. So the students participate in this online challenge where they manage a virtual company. And they make decisions about marketing, about capital investment, about research and development, even how many products to produce and how to price them at. And they compete in a virtual marketplace. And yeah, so we had 53 teams, including the one here in Parksville, participating.
Tell me about the winner.
Well, the winner, how exciting. I was so thrilled as regional manager on Vancouver Island to receive news that the winning team was in fact the student team out of Pass Woodwinds Alternate School in Parksville. How exciting to have a team of students from an alternate school actually win the competition.
I understand these students call themselves the underachievers. Why do they call themselves that?
Yeah, the student team from Parksville did refer to themselves. They entered the competition with the team name of underachievers. And I can only imagine that they called themselves that thinking that they were going to be up against really stiff competition. Stiff competition from students who are in private and public schools who probably had a lot of instruction and previous knowledge about business. And these students from Parksville probably felt that they weren't going to, accomplish much in the competition. But in fact, they turned out to be not underachievers, but overachievers by winning the competition and doing so incredibly well.
Well, it's obvious that Junior Achievement had done something miraculous almost with these kids. They must have done something right. Would you say that Junior Achievement empowered these kids? What did you do right that helped them triumph like this?
Right. I think what it comes right down to is great programming. You know, we have excellent curriculum that we can bring into the school classroom. Curriculum that really teaches the kids the very basics of business and then lets them dive in and dip their toes in and really build their knowledge about business. And I think that's what these students did. You know, they became inspired, their interest grew, and they became very competitive to win the competition.
That's inspiring just to hear that, Deborah. Listen, if any educator out there is inspired to invite Junior Achievements into their classroom, how might they do that?
Oh, we'd love them to invite us into their classroom. Best place to go, www.jabc.org to register your class to participate.
Deborah, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate you doing this.
Thank you.
I want to throw it over to Brian Sugiyama, who in honor of Chinese New Year is hosting his guest chef, Jinyan Shi, and her interpreter, Spencer Gao, to create some Chinese culinary delights.
Thank you, Louis. For those of you who don't know, and you think this is February, but the first day of the lunar calendar is February 19th, and that is known as Chinese New Year. And 2015, as Matt mentioned earlier, is the year of the lamb. And today I have with me a local area chef, and we're going to, Jinyan, also known as Sunny, and Spencer, who is going to serve as our interpreter. And we're going to look at a couple dishes, and just the one is cooking right now. It's called steamed egg, and it's steaming in back here, but the ingredients are on this plate here. You have the eggs, celery, soy sauce, salt, green onions, and carrot and pork. And the pork is going to go in last, so it's ground pork that's here. This dish is served as a regular, one of the main meal items, is it, Spencer?
这个是不是就是主要的那个新年的食物？
这是新年食物之一，主要的食物是应该是饺子。
So it will come with dumplings.
And
yeah,
okay,
these are very popular.
Okay, so it's the significance is it's served also as a side dish with dumplings, which may be shrimp, pork, or ground beef.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and the second dish we're going to do is called Szechuan chicken or peppery chicken, and I think let's look at the items. What's here in front of us here?
你介绍一下你前面的这些菜品。
这是一个让把鸡剁成一个小块小块的，然后做成很辣很辣的、很香的一道菜，然后红红火火。过年就是表示到这日子要过得特别红、特别火，那么颜色会非常红。
So this is a chopped chicken, and we fried this chicken.
It's already cooked.
Yeah, and we use pepper and hot chili.
Yes.
Yeah. So to say that, good for the new year.
Okay. And the significance, and you mentioned earlier to me, Spencer, is that it's the red color of the chili.
Yeah.
And it'll give us quite the aroma here in the studio.
Yeah.
And red in Chinese is actually a lucky color.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's a very significant color in Chinese culture. Okay, so we're going to put these together. The steamed egg will be on a plate, and you're going to cook the chicken, the Sichuan chicken, in a wok as well, or is it in a
wok? Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. I'm just wanting to remind everyone that maybe one of the things you should do, and I was talking to Spencer and Jinyan, is that in Chinese New Year, some people certainly go out, but a large portion of people in traditional Chinese families cook in and can prepare these dishes themselves. And certainly it's a good chance to sample and try out your culinary skills in terms of cooking Chinese food. So certainly don't be hesitant. But if you're not comfortable there, go out to one of the local restaurants. Check in our calendars for special events all throughout that time. So we're going to come back. Let's head over to Matt, who's got our guest for an interview with our musician, Dave Gogo.
All right, thank you very, very much, Brian, and absolutely right. Amazing Chinese cuisine all throughout here in also Nanaimo, Victoria, but of course Vancouver as well, some of the best in the world. So looking forward to more stuff later on. All right, as Brian also mentioned, in with our musical guest here, David Gogo. So happy to have you here. Welcome.
How's it going, eh?
I'm doing good, beauty, eh? All right, so as my fellow hoser here knows, the best hockey team of all time is what we must first talk about before we get to the music. So what is it about the Habs?
I love them. I've always loved them. My dad knew John Ferguson when Fergie was playing lacrosse here in Nanaimo in the late 60s. Right. Yeah. And there's always been a family connection. So, yeah, I'm just like Pavlov's dog when I see that uniform. I just go crazy. And they've been rocking lately. They've been doing really well. So
they've been a very good year. Now, our director, Todd Jones, is a big Leafs fan. So what do you have to say to him about that sad state of affairs?
No, there's nothing to say.
When there is no competition, nothing to say at all.
No, I don't know, because the Leafs haven't won anything in my lifetime, so I don't have much to say. And I'm old.
Exactly. I like where this is going. All right. Okay, so before Todd starts to tear up. So again, from Nanaimo, tell us a bit about what it's like growing up in a musical family.
Well, I was born and raised here in Nanaimo, and I do come from a musical family, but the strange thing was I didn't really see a lot of my cousins when I was growing up. I have 3 younger sisters, and they're into music, but they don't really play music. But it's interesting because my sister, her daughter, is doing really well singing now. She's just out of high school. My son's playing drums. My cousin Paul is in Trooper, has been in Trooper for 15 years or so, and plays all around. Probably more like 20 years. Cousin John's made some albums. Cousin Marie's out in Toronto doing musical theater. It just goes on and on. I don't want to leave people out, but it's funny. It just seems to be a genetic thing.
Great family legacy there. So what was it that caused you to pick up the guitar in the first place and said, hey, maybe this is something I really want to give a go to?
Seeing Elvis on TV when I was a little kid. It's a funny thing. You see Elvis with a guitar, and it wasn't like, hey, I want to swivel my hips and be a singer. I was like, I want to play guitar. So it's strange how that happened. So, talked my parents into taking me down to Fletcher's.
Just music.
Down at Fletcher's, which was furniture, a furniture store back in the day on Commercial Street, and got a little guitar, and then eventually I got to go to Ferguson Music and get a real axe.
So I was thinking of Ferguson's.
Yeah.
So back then, of course, you have your Elvis, obviously coming to the Beatles, a lot of rock and roll. What is it about the blues that spoke to you?
My dad had some blues records in his collection, alongside the CCR, which I think was issued to you back then as a Canadian. He had Hank Williams, he had CCR, but he also had some Canned Heat, Taj Mahal, and B.B. King. And as I started to listen to the 60s bands, especially British bands like the Kinks and the Rolling Stones and the Who, and even the Beatles to a certain extent, I could hear that blues influence. And then I got into Cream and Jimi Hendrix as my guitar playing developed, and I started looking at the back of the albums and looking at the songwriting credits and wondering, who's Muddy Waters? Who's Albert King? Who are these people? So I just got into it.
You mentioned B.B. King just then. I noticed reading your bio, you had a chance to share the stage with him 3 times. obviously one of the bigger blues names I think viewers would recognize. So what is he like, and what is his music sort of meant to you?
Well, you know, I was really lucky in the early 90s. I actually got to play on stage with him at the Montreux Jazz Blues Festival in Switzerland, and then I've opened for him a couple other times since then in my career. And he's just a prince of a man. He's just the coolest guy you could ever meet. He's like seeing your favorite uncle you haven't seen in a long time. He's so accommodating. And I remember one time hanging out, and this is after like 2 hours in the hotel suite just talking about music and ladies and stuff. He likes the ladies. And he asked for one of my CDs, so I gave him a CD, and he said, well, you got to sign it for me, dude. So I'll never forget signing to B.B. King, "Good luck with your music, David Gogo." So. And of course, when he was in town, I guess almost 2 years ago next month, that he was at the Port Theatre, and it was completely sold out before they even announced the show. So to open up for him in Nanaimo with all my family there was outstanding.
Absolutely. So I mean, great stuff there, to hear about you being sort of received well by him. You had a chance to tour around the southern states, play with other musicians. Does the thing is, like, what does this guy from Nanaimo know about the blues, or has it always been really decent acceptance?
Yeah, you know, I've been so lucky. Like, I started off really young, and I used to sneak into clubs like the Town Pump in Vancouver, the Commodore, and Harpo's in Victoria. I met a lot of these guys at an early age, and no one was ever a jerk. Everyone was really accepting. You know, as a young man, I sat in with Albert Collins. I was Bo Diddley's guitar player for a night. You know, just on and on and on. I never got any kind of flack whatsoever, and in fact, they were just really kind and really encouraging. You know?
That's great scene. All right, the guys tell me to wrap it up. So two things I want to hear about. You got a new album on the way, and where can people see you play live? Well,
I'm just writing a new album, so that's always a challenge. It's album number 14, but we're going to print vinyl this time, which is exciting. Nice. And then I got a bunch of local-ish gigs coming up as I'm writing. I just did a couple, Gabriola and Port Alberni, but coming up, I've got Victoria, February 27th, Quadra Island, March 6th, Powell River, March 14th, the Dingy Dock, March 21st, and I believe the Crofton Hotel, March 28th. But I'm heading out to Alberta next week to see the snowflies.
Exactly. Yeah. Who needs a manager? You know all this stuff. Again, David Gogo, thank you so much for being here. Time for another song. We're going to hear a track called Western Coast, live on the show on Shaw TV.
Slam, well, you know I've gotta stay. Well, I'm gonna leave you, baby, if I have to pepper my shoe. I'm gonna leave you, darling, if I have to pepper my shoe. Like kudzu, baby, and I just can't cut you loose, no. You taught me to stay now, baby, when I tried leaving, you back then, well, you taught me to stay now, baby, when I tried to leave you back then. Beer house in for I could count of 10. Sure enough, you did. Western coast, I'm heading home, baby, to the western coast. I spent too long now, woman, Lord.
fish can't say no to drugs. So why do we keep sending old medications their way? Take a look in your medicine cabinet. Chances are you'll find prescription drugs, vitamins, and over-the-counter products that are expired or you no longer need. It's time to get rid of them, but how? Don't throw medications in your household garbage, where they can be found by children, pets, and wildlife. So what about flushing them down the toilet? Stop, that's a bad idea too. Medication that goes down the drain ends up in the ocean, where it can have a negative effect on the marine environment. Luckily, there's a solution. You can return unused and expired medications to community pharmacies across BC, and it's free. Pharmacies accept prescription drugs, over-the-counter medications, and natural health products such as vitamins and traditional Chinese medicines. We live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. Let's help keep our environment, our home, and our fish healthy and happy.
Good. Okay. Thank you. I have with me here Kevin Cox, who is a representative of the BC Pharmacy Association. Kevin, you're a local pharmacist in town here. And one of the things we just saw was on the video is that we really don't want people to be flushing their old medications into the toilet or into landfills, because it just works its way into the environment.
And a number of these things can be toxic to animals, pets, typical pain reliever like acetaminophen that everybody has in their medicine cabinet is incredibly toxic to dogs. Your neighbor's dog rummaging through your garbage is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So one of the things on the headline that I see here is that Nanaimo region's residents have returned more than 4,900 kilograms of old medications annually. Now that's, it's sort of hard to wrap your head around how much that is, but in the press release it says that's equivalent to more than 1,200 sockeye salmon. So people get an idea how much that is. That's huge amounts of medications and drugs that are out there that we have to get disposed of properly.
And that's probably nowhere near what should be coming into your local pharmacies to be disposed of in a proper fashion.
And I can imagine how many are in various households, and you accumulate that throughout the whole region. I guess you're working, the BC Pharmacy Association is working in this area with the regional district. And one of the things I see in here is that there's been a 147% increase in the number of medications returned over the last 5 years. So that's, it's growing. People are more aware, but obviously you want to have more of this word get out, and all those medications that are sitting at someone's counter, medicine cabinet, etc., you need returned. And they go into the blue box as noted on the video that we just looked at. That's the best way. It doesn't have to be packaged.
Nope, nope, it doesn't have to be packaged. Actually, we'd appreciate it if you just put them all in a Ziploc bag and brought them in. Quite frankly, it'd make it a little more compact to dispose of.
And really, what we're doing is really helping our environment, our children, and our pets by not putting these into landfills, into garbage cans, and down a toilet. What you told me, and just sort of in the scope of it, in your own pharmacy, how many of those bins do you go through in a year? At
least a dozen. It would be hundreds of kilos of expired medications that people will bring into us.
And those medications include everything from creams and antibiotics and natural health products, vitamins, minerals, traditional Chinese medications, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Okay. When people have to find out more information, and I think we have it up on screen, I understand they should go to a website?
BC Pharmacy Association.
Okay. And I guess the other one is www.healthsteward.ca, and that's where you can get all of the information, how you put it together, take it down to your local pharmacy right in town here, and it's disposed of, and that includes everything in the areas of Nanaimo, Lanceville, Parksville, Qualicum Beach, this area. Kevin, it's something that you and your colleagues are certainly doing as part of not only dispensing it, but collecting it. Well, that's great news. We want everyone to take part in this. Please make sure you package it and get it down to your local pharmacy. Let's head over to, I'm just going to check here, to Michael for our magic moment.
Shaw TV, and I'm going to bring Matt in. Our host. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Good, except you made my money disappear last week.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, hey, this is what we're going to do. Today I have a box that I brought, and this is really important. A friend of mine created this trick, and this is to kind of remember him. He passed away on the weekend, and he came up with this beautiful, beautiful piece of magic, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. It's a box. I want you to check it out. Open it up.
Open it up?
Yeah.
Just like, where do you open it?
Right here, right there.
Oh,
Open it up. Take a look. What do you see inside?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. There's a few little curtains and a little trap door in the top. We'll get to those in a bit. And I also have these. These are ropes. Check them out. Solid ropes. Well, this box is a magic box. I know it's kind of weird. The only way that I know of taking these two loops and putting them together and linking them together would be to put one end through the other. Well, I'm going to take the middle, so I'm going to put them inside the box. And weird things happen. Watch, the ends don't even go inside of the box. And I'm going to take these, we're going to pop them right out of the top, just like so. And take a look. Matt, they are linked.
They are linked?
I know, they are linked, and the ends are still here. Now, this is weird, because I probably could have, added some loops to this, added some pieces, but in actual fact, I want you to take a good look, because in actual fact, they are linked together. I know. Really bizarre. Well, thank you. Thank you. Here, we'll do this again. We'll take the ends, we'll put them inside like this. Here's end number one. There's the white end. Here is the red middle. White middle, red middle. Ends are out. Are they linked?
Doesn't look like it.
No, and they're not. Take a look. Look inside. They are not linked.
I'm hoping I'm sure you. Oh, no.
All right, very good. You have a magic stick.
A magic stick?
Sometimes known as a wand, and this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take these ropes. I'm going to just get you to put the wand inside the loops.
Inside the loops?
Inside the loops. One and two. Yeah. Right on. I'm going to pull them down nice and tight. You hang on to the red ones.
All right.
I'll hang on to the white ones.
Yes.
Okay, just a little wiggle. Now give it a little slack. A little slack. Very good. We're going to take this wand out just like so. Watch this. White end goes in, red end goes in. Remember, they were not linked together, but I want you to pull real slow. There you go. Yeah, take a look. There they are. They're linked together. Look inside of there, Matt.
They're linked?
I know.
How did...
Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. All right, you can let go of that rope here. Take a ring. Right. Examine that. Examine it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make this part really, really fast. Let's see if we can do this. Here we go.
Ring since grade 12.
Yeah, we won't even use the red rope this time. We're only going to use the red rope in the box. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to thread this through just like so. Let's see if I can get it through our little curtain on the side, just like that. All right, you've examined the rope, you've examined the box, you've examined the ring. Everything's solid.
Solid ring?
When you hear this, I want you to open the box. You ready, Matt? Watch this ring really close. 1, 2, there you go. Take a look.
Take a look.
Open it up.
What?
I know, the ring is right on the rope. Take the ring, pull it out, make sure it's really on there.
Pull it out the front. It is.
Absolutely. Show the camera. All right, and that's it for a magic moment. That one was for you, Dean.
Wow.
See you later, Matt. Hope you enjoyed that.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Michael Berends, Magic Moment with Michael. Come on, make some noise. I really have no clue. He does this every episode. Awesome stuff. Anyways, you are once again astounded, amazed, and excited watching the show right here on Shaw TV. With that magic there about halfway through now. So far in the program, we've learned about what's happening with Junior Achievement. We've looked into Chinese cooking in celebration of the Chinese New Year. We've also met our musical guest, David Gogo, who has some more music coming up for us later on in the show. We've also found out what to do with our leftover medications, and again, just saw our amazing magic moment there once again. Coming up, we're going to learn about the Nanaimo District Hospital Foundation's Lifeline program. We're going to meet author Shaeah and find out more about her book, From My Heart to Yours. And of course, we'll be getting back into more of the Chinese cuisine as well. Love that. But first, we've got a bit of a new segment here for you. Now, again, we have some amazing volunteers that help run the show, as well as who contribute greatly to volunteer programs, not only here in Nanaimo, but of course all across the country. And one of our own valued, longtime and popular volunteers is Mr. Howie Hennessy, and our boy Ronan put together this great feature for him. So check it out, the Shaw TV volunteer Howie Hennessy on the show on Shaw TV.
Hello, my name is Valerie Mumford, and I've been doing volunteer work all of my life. Today is the first in a series of segments featuring dedicated volunteers in our community. Well, without volunteers, Nanaimo's nonprofit society would have a very difficult time functioning. So today I'm proud to introduce Howie Hennessy. Howie's been a dedicated volunteer with Shaw TV for the last 17 years.
What brought me here, I guess, was direction. I needed direction, so I came to volunteer at Shaw. Hi, I'm Howie Hennessy. I've been a volunteer at Shaw Programming for 16 years.
Howie is great. He's so much fun. He's got a great sense of humor. He is just a really good guy, you know. He's nice and friendly and outgoing and a really good person to have on our team, you know. It's he epitomizes what volunteering is all about. Howie has been a vital part of a lot of the productions that we've done. In past years, we would do phone-ins in the studio and whatnot, and he'd come in. He was always faithful crew members. His main role has always been to do camera, and he's done a really good job, and he's gone from just doing a tripod camera to handheld camera. You know, he's just always there whenever we need him for whatever.
Howie, as a volunteer, he's done everything there is to do in television. When it comes to doing mobile production, he's done camera. Basically any job description we ask him to do, he's done. Howie's a guy who just has a big, kind heart. He always wants to help out. He always wants to do his best. 15 years is quite a dedication for something. Obviously, he's enjoying what he's doing, but we also enjoy having him part of our team because, you know, when you have 15 years of experience as an asset, and we also use him to train new volunteers to come through. So he's a really valuable asset to our team. Howie is fantastic.
The people are just fantastic. There's a lot of happiness here. Everybody's always positive, giving you advice, but listening to your ideas as well. It feels great to give back. It really, really feels good.
Awesome, Howie. 15 years, buddy. Way to go. If I could only make it to that. Awesome. Anyhow, my guest tonight is Joan Ryan. Welcome, Joan. She is the Executive Director of the Nanaimo Lifeline program, which is affiliated with the Nanaimo Hospital Foundation. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, and they're the owners or they're the founders?
They're the owners, but thank you for that lovely lead-in. The founders were actually the hospital auxiliary, and it was an entirely volunteer-run program. Okay. I myself was a volunteer for the first year.
Right, okay, so, just like our program is all volunteer-run
exactly.
as well.
But the program has grown so much that we're way beyond the volunteer alone aspect, although we rely heavily on our volunteers.
And
what is Lifeline? I didn't see the question.
Well, you have some services that you provide, which are really important to our community. So I would love you to talk about those.
Yeah, and we have grown. Our original program, and certainly our flagship, is the personal emergency response service that is called Lifeline, and that's a service for people who are medically at risk when alone in their own homes. It's a means by which people who, in an emergency, need to call for help and are not able to either use or speak on their telephone, and they wear a button like this one. This is a Lifeline button, and they simply push the center of the button. It sends a signal to their base unit, which calls our call center, and we run our own call center here, right here in Nanaimo, one of the few programs in the country that still run their own
That's excellent.
Call centers.
And the call center, is it at the hospital itself?
No, it's in our offices.
Oh, okay, okay, my apologies.
Originally it was at the hospital. The hospital switchboard used to do it 24 hours a day.
Right, and then they could send out the ambulance or whatever is necessary, right?
But now we monitor for Port Alberni and for Powell River as well, so we monitor in excess of 2,000 households.
That's a lot of people.
And that's a lot of work for the switchboard to do.
That is too.
We have dedicated monitoring staff that look after that.
Right.
For Lifeline itself.
And one of the other services that you provide is medication dispensers. that right?
That's right. The medication dispenser is a fairly new piece of equipment, and it's designed for those people who can no longer manage their medications even with a blister pack. So whether that's because of cognitive ability or vision or small motor skills, the medication dispenser allows a way for a person in that situation to still remain in their own home with a machine helping them dispense their meds at the correct time and in the correct amount.
Now, the majority of the people that use your services are the elderly, is that right?
That's correct.
That are not able to help themselves that easily.
Well, they have a variety of reasons for being on the service, and it's certainly not exclusive to the elderly. But our youngest client, for instance, is in her 20s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But 77% of our clients are between the ages of 80 and 106.
And we were talking about earlier how our lifespan has extended. We never used to live quite as long as we do now.
Exactly.
So
exactly. People want to remain in their own homes, and if the only thing that's preventing them is anxiety of not being able to call in a help-needed situation, that's what we're there for.
That's a good service to provide. Now, you also have a third service that you provide to the general public.
It's a partnership. It's a service that actually belongs to Search and Rescue, and it's called Project Lifesaver. And it involves a transmitter that's put on the wrist of people who are subject to wandering. And if they wander, the caregiver calls RCMP 911, tells them they are a client of Project Lifesaver, and Search and Rescue takes their receivers out and finds them. Their track record is over 98% of the time they find the transmitter in under 30 minutes.
Wow, that's great.
Lifeline's part in that is the client management partner. So we sign the people on board, we do the monthly checks, we do all that kind of stuff, because, back to volunteering, Search and Rescues are all volunteer. They don't have administration offices, but we do. So that's what we do for them in that partnership.
That's an awesome partnership. I'm happy to hear about that, actually, because a lot of people do. When they're older, especially if they have dementia, they do tend to wander off.
Exactly. So it's also really good for children, autistic children, Down syndrome children. So anybody who's subject to wandering, Project Lifesaver, they just call our Lifeline office, either here or through our Parksville number, and we can hook them up.
Excellent. And if they do want to volunteer, they can contact you.
They want to volunteer, they can call me. Couldn't operate without them.
Thank you so much, Joan, for coming on our show tonight. I really appreciate it.
It is my pleasure.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce again David Gogo, and he is going to be performing Halfway to Memphis.
Daddy don't like you when mama just pretends. If you can't treat them like family, at least treat them like friends. You tore out of Louisiana when you was just 17. Well, she was just 17, you know what I mean. Well, I didn't know any better, didn't know any worse. I just hoped I could be next, 'cause I knew I wasn't first. I can't help it if you love me, baby, it's not for me to choose. But I said, baby, lay off of my blue suede shoes. Ooh, it's high time I left you, baby, I think that I should. Well, I'd be halfway to Memphis now if I could. T stands for Texas, baby. T's for Tennessee. Yes, and T stands for trouble, woman. That's what you are to me. I ain't thinking about my future. I ain't thinking about my past. I'm just thinking about leaving, Lord. I think I'll do it fast. Ooh, it's high time I left you, baby. I think that I should. Well, I'd be halfway to Memphis now if I could. Yes, I would, baby. Lord, don't you think I'd do it, child? Yeah. Lord, if I could.
That was awesome. Today, I have another interview, of course, and I'm so happy Shaeah Love is here. She is an author, a visionary artist, and a life coach, and she is here to tell us all about her wonderful book, From My Heart to Yours. Welcome, Shaeah.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to be here, Anna.
Now, can you show us your book?
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about it and what inspired you to write this book?
Yeah, so I'm really proud of it. It's very beautiful, and it's a love story ultimately, you know, being Shaeah Love and called From My Heart to Yours, and it's me sharing really raw and authentically about my journey of search for meaning, search for love, the experience of facing life's challenges and the blessings, and I share tools that I use for healing and transformation, and
That's
yeah.
wonderful. Excellent. And why did you decide to write this?
Well, I came out of a 5-day meditation, solo meditation, and when I came out of that, it was just a deep calling. It was like, okay, well, I'd been wanting to write a book for many years, and then I came out of that meditation, just, it's time to start. And I started, and I just made a commitment to write every day. And the intention was to share from my heart to others with the purpose to inspire and to let people know that they're not alone in their struggles and in their inquiry into what is this whole life thing about, and what is my place here, and will I ever find love, you know.
So it's a book for everyone to read.
Yeah, it actually, yeah, it can touch the hearts of many.
That's
you know,
right.
People of all ages. One of my biggest fans is actually a gentleman in his 60s, which was quite surprising to me, because I thought, oh, women in their middle ages would relate to this book. But,
yes.
you know, and it was really touching to hear from this fan who was suffering from brain cancer, terminal brain cancer, and found this book very inspiring to him, a way to how to live his life with an open heart and how to live his days more connected to his family, and so that was very touching to me.
That is really touching.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, actually.
Yeah.
And now you also offer healing sessions as well. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, well, I love to support people in their well-being. So, and like my writing, I work intuitively. It's in the moment, so I connect with people where they're at and what they're needing and wanting, and then I weave together my experience and training in Lomi Lomi. It's Hawaiian massage. It's very yummy, luscious massage with some cranial sacral, which supports the nervous system, and Reiki, which is energy healing.
Yeah.
And then because I've been a body worker for over 18 years, like I said, I work intuitively and from my experience. Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. Now, it's Valentine's Day coming up here pretty soon, and I know that you are offering, I love this, Body Bliss for Lovers.
Yes.
And it's couples massage.
That's right.
That sounds amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, what I love to do, another thing that I love to do is to support couples in their intimacy and to help them, give them tools to relate in a way that brings tenderness and loving care. And so I'm going to be teaching couples how to communicate their needs and their wants, and then teach them how to massage each other and express their love through touch.
And feel amazing.
Yes,
at the same
of course,
time,
exactly. Who wouldn't want to come home at the end of a day and have their partner, love them up and just, melt the stress away.
And it would be melting for both of them, too.
Exactly, yeah, and bringing them closer together. And
that's awesome. Now, you also have a book tour coming up. I haven't set the dates yet, but the plan is to tour Vancouver Island, Vancouver area, and even into Alberta. Oh, wow.
And I'm willing to go anywhere. If anyone wants to let me know and bring them to me to their town, I'm happy to go wherever I'm called. So,
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, if people do want to contact you, how can they reach you? Through your website?
Yes, they can go to my website, and my contact information is there, shaeahlove.com, or email connect@shaeahlove.com.
Excellent. Thank you, Shaeah. I'm so happy that you came. And show your book again. People, buy the book. It'll be awesome. And thank you again for showing.
I wanted to give you this.
Oh, thank you. Excellent. I can't wait to read it now. Thank you. And now we are going back to Brian, and it's smelling pretty good over there, Brian. Gung Hai Fat Choi.
Thanks, Anna. I have with me here again Jinyan Shi and Spencer Gao, who are just plating up our Szechuan chicken, and we're less than ideal with the hot plate. Is not really hot enough, but it took us a little longer. She's just plating this up, and I'm going to be the first one who's going to try this. Eat your heart out, everybody, okay? All right.
It's okay.
Okay, now, do we have something I can sample this with? Sure. Chopsticks or bowl? Sure. All right, good. All right, I'm gonna, now apparently this is fairly spicy. If you see the red items, those are chilies. And again, the ginger root, chicken, green onion, okay? And I'm gonna sample this. The other thing we have over here is the steamed egg, which looks quite interesting. This is quite with ground pork, celery, carrots, etc. So should I be doing anything special with this?
Special.
Just eat it, okay. Great. This is wonderful. And you guys, no, I'm not sweating yet.
No.
Let me try.
You try. Take it. Yeah.
I'll try some of that. Is there another bowl there? Yep. And this is the steamed egg, which will probably taper off the burn in my mouth. Okay, so let's just try this. And this is a lot. This is a lot more. I get the chopsticks. Okay, a spoon. Okay.
Spoon.
Be easier with the spoon. It's more like a custard consistency, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a wonder I can still taste with the chili burning through my mouth.
Because normally we don't eat the chili, so.
Oh, we don't eat the chili. Now you tell me.
他刚最开始吃的那个辣椒，我告诉他我们一般不吃那个辣椒。
But this is very and in my cultural group we do steam it in cups too. Yeah. So, oh, wonderful. For the guy that ate the chili, who shouldn't have eaten the chili. But I tell you, the chicken is wonderful, and I guess the chili just gets you the flavor into the dish. So it's more for decoration, and obviously the red color, but certainly the chicken's great. So, just a reminder again, once again, that you can tell me, Spencer, that everyone goes, and it's not everyone, some of the Chinese residents go to a restaurant. Yeah. Some also go and make their own food in their own homes.
Yeah, that's right.
And the traditional dishes are chicken, fish, dumplings, which include shrimp, pork, or beef. And the fish is usually cooked whole.
Yeah, right.
It's more lucky that way? Okay. That's it. So if you're going to celebrate Lunar New Year, which is on February 19th, oh, we'll have to get, can we get a little bowl for this man? And we can serve him some of the
some chilies. They
chili.
can eat the chilies. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm going to get this for Matt. No, we won't give him the chili challenge because it's.
I do think a person's self-worth is directly related to the spiciness of food they enjoy. So,
oh, okay.
So
here you go. You try that.
Absolutely, will do.
And I'll drink the water.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, awesome.
It's okay.
That's great. Thank you again to Jinyan Shi and Spencer Gao, who have helped us with these great two dishes. Gung Hai Fat Choi.
I would love to start talking now, but I'm still chewing.
Okay.
So,
That reminds me of the dog snack.
Yeah. All right.
I saw that show. Yeah.
You did. Much improved. And again, awesome stuff. Thank you guys very much for being here. And obviously for anyone out there, oh, that's so tasty. Oh, man. Not only obviously Chinese cuisine is great, but it just really enriches one's lives to try different cuisines from different parts of the world. And that's a wonderful example of it. So, Brian, thank you very much for getting us here, and thank you guys very much for being here as well. Much appreciated.
You're welcome.
All right. So, oh, it's good. And again, a huge thank you as well to the Nanaimo Chinese Cultural Association for this together. Awesome stuff. All right. Well, before we finish off the show, it is very important to notice that it is our esteemed director Todd Jones's birthday. So, a big round of applause for Todd Jones. Come on. And so with that in mind, I thought I'd just give him a little bit of a thank you and stuff like that. See, the problem with Todd is, and I mentioned it in the interview with David Gogo earlier on, he is a bit of a Leafs fan, of course. And, and as a Leafs fan, it's really, and he's also a goalie, by the way. He plays goalie for some of the beer league teams around, so it's obviously it's a tough place to be. Really easy for him to feel Ron low. And, sometimes just eating a salad Caesar or Maniego smoothie just is enough to Corey Schwab away all the palmiteers. Now, but one thing Todd knows is there is no greater fear than Grant Fuhr itself. Now, and of course, with no fear, he's a guy that will easily take a Bruce Gamble. I, Trevor, kid you not. And if you don't believe me, you can just hit the Damien Rhodes and go get lost in Mark LaForest. All right, Mark LaForest. Mark LaForest. I just sounded like I inhaled from a Glen helium balloon there, so, which is much safer, usually in this part of the world, you're inhaling from a pot van. So, got to keep it there. So, anyways, now our buddy Todd, he is a real bunny, LaRock of the show, a real cool Joe, the best friend you could ever ask for. I often call him that older broda I never had. I'm not sure who our Bernie parents would be, but anyways, he's used to give me a real quick and sharp, harsh Bernier because I'm a Canucks fan. Anyway, so before the segment continues to petering out, so before they Jean-Sebastian Aubin the door and kick me out on my Tom Barrasso just for daring to poopa where I shouldn't with no rhyme or reason, I'm gonna pack my suitcase, Smith, go to the airport, jump on the next jet Raycroft, and with my complimentary Jeff Reese's Pieces, of course, and zoom past the control bower, and if I hear alarm bells, I'll start to bow pray because I don't know what's the bell for. Oh, the bell for. So that's my Toronto Maple Leafs goal playing 11 friend right there. Thanks so much to all the Leafs over the years for giving us great comedy. Thanks to all of our guests and our hard-working staff behind the cameras in front of the scenes. Hey, you can find the Shaw TV, the show on Facebook, facebook.com/theshowonshaw. You can also check out previous episodes of the show on YouTube. And hey, if you want to be on the show or know someone who does, know a great segment, contact our executive producer, Melissa Hall. Our email address is melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. Now, before we go, of course, one more song from David Gogo. So glad to have him on the show. This song is dedicated to Todd's love of the Leafs. It's called Never Gonna Change. Thank you so much for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
Rock all night, sleep all day, playing the blues is how I get my pay. Stetson hats and diamond rings, I'm telling my story with these six strings. Well, I can be stubborn, but I like doing things my way. life is being the same, and I ain't never, never gonna change. Well, I've been on the road since the age of 15. Ain't nothing out there that I ain't never seen. I keep moving on from town to town, and I ain't never gonna put this down. Get tied down, well, I keep to myself, and I don't have much to say. Well, all of my life is being the same, and I ain't never, never gonna change. Well, I like the life I live, and I ain't gonna stop. I've been on the bottom, and I've been on top. I don't worry about the future, it just ends up in the past. I'm gonna live here for the moment, try to make things last. Well, I took a lot of wrong turns to get where I am today. And all of my life is being the same, and I ain't never, never gonna change. Well, all of my life is being the same, and I ain't never, never gonna change. Well, all of my life is being the same, and I ain't never, never gonna change.